welcome to the Tenerife Pod. It's the bonus episode, all sponsored, of course, by BGR Solutions. I am Jenny T, I'm your host, and I'm here with the boys. We have Steve Ballard.
Hello.
And Chris Elkington.
May the 4th be with you. Hey. Happy Star Wars Day.
Yes, nerd.
Me and Steve have been fighting over that, haven't we, Steve?
Yeah.
Yes, we've been fighting over that.
Do you need a couple of minutes to nerd it up?
Like, well, no, we're gonna let you do that. You're the host.
Well, I'm not hosting anything Star Wars because again, I'm not going to put my 2 pennies worth in on things I know nothing about.
Know anything.
Yeah, but we can turn you into a Star Wars fan.
I'd rather you didn't.
All you got to do is put your hand like that. Put your hand like that and say Nanu Nanu.
No, that's
Nanu Nanu.
There you go.
What, Steve?
You've just upset every geek, every nerd, every sci-fi fan is currently shouting at their phone, their YouTube, because
I've got enough haters as it is. I don't need any more.
So we had so much sci-fi going on there. So May the 4th be with you, Star Wars. This is Star Trek. So this is the Vulcan salute.
Yeah.
And Nanu Nanu comes from Mork and Mindy.
It does.
We just
I mean, that's really scraping the barrel from the ears, isn't it? But there you go.
Yeah, we do.
But it is, I mean, it is literally...
You're going to get calls.
It is literally Star Wars Day. But do you know why?
Because it's May the 4th.
Yes.
And how is that relevant?
Because they say May the 4th be with you.
Correct.
It did.
I don't know why they say that or when they say that, and I also don't need to know. So
do you not know what the Force is?
No.
Can you not feel the Force?
The Force is
just gravity?
is a power that binds us and controls us.
I knew you'd need a couple of minutes.
No, there's a full speech. There's a full speech.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've got some Dr. Steve about this.
One.
The first actual use of Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you, 1979, and it was May the 3rd, and Margaret Thatcher had just won the general election, and the Conservative Party took out a full-page ad in the London Evening Standard.
Is that where it came from?
That is exactly where it came from, saying congratulations and May the 4th be with you.
See, you can blame Thatcher for that as well.
You can
blame Thatcher for everything, Jen.
I'm not offended by it being May the 4th. I'm happy that you guys have got a day to get your geek on.
Actually, there's also another day tomorrow called Revenge of the 5th. Serious?
I don't know why that's funny. But
Revenge of the Sith.
Personally, I prefer March the 14th, but we better not go there.
Move on, Jen, quick.
Is that
Don't
steak and something
else?
else?
That's the one.
I was going to say don't ask.
Steak day.
Steak and we'll leave it there.
At that.
Anyway, welcome to the bonus episode.
Yep.
Have you had a good weekend? The record of this is on a Monday, so how was your weekend, boys?
Actually quite relaxing. I had a little bit of work to do, but I spent Sunday afternoon eating and watching football, which was nice. It was nice to chill out and relax. And,
yeah.
I mean, the football wasn't great. The result wasn't great for Liverpool fans, but it is what it is.
Talking of football, though, I went to CD Tenerife on Friday.
You did.
And it was absolutely epic.
So I didn't realise that it was such a huge game. Like, can you explain to me, a bit of a football dense person, like tell me, because I obviously understand now that it was quite a huge moment. So
yeah, I mean, if you remember, we had Chris Todd from the Armada Sue
here.
I
wasn't here.
Oh no, you weren't. Well,
it was us.
She wasn't. So basically, Tenerife have been in, if you like, the 3rd division, and on Friday they had the opportunity to go up to the 2nd division. All right, now. They should be in the 2nd division anyway. However, it's only the 4th time in their history, or the 5th time in the history, that they've gained promotion at home, at the Heliodora. Every other time has been at an away stadium. So obviously, to be able to celebrate it at your home stadium, particularly because, you know, any away game is off the island here, so you don't get that many fans going, is a big thing. And cut a long story short, I've got to say a huge thanks to Chris Todd, who obviously did organise the whole thing. And I was on the bus with your favourite friend, Jen. I was with Ash.
Oh, how is he?
Ash was absolutely fine. I met him at 3 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, I was kind of ashed out, yeah?
Yeah.
But we went on the coach. I've got to give a shout out to Ash, to Jack Smales, who Jack's always our favourite Liam Gallagher personator, always very funny. Sasha, Paul, Kyle, Wes. We had a fantastic time on the bus and at the ground. But it was actually a massive celebration in Santa Cruz because Tenerife actually became champions before the game.
Right, yeah. So I think I saw this on the Canarian Weekly.
So basically, Osasuna B beat Celta Vigo. 1-0, and that meant that Tenerife were already confirmed champions before it started. So as you can imagine, it meant that, I'm not going to say the game had less importance, but it just meant the whole city
was already
partied.
buzzing.
It was a party atmosphere before a ball was even kicked.
Yeah,
How
it was
do you
incredible.
feel about that? Like, obviously, as a CD Tenerife fan, that must be quite like satisfying to know. But don't you feel like that kind of on the edge of your seat? Won't they during a game? It's like,
well,
quite
to be honest,
exciting.
it was only a matter of time before they did, because they were a fair few points ahead. There's still 3 games to go, and they've won it.
Are they top of the?
Yeah. So they're the champions of the league. But it just meant, I mean, I was in the end with the Frente Blanca Azul. So where you see it on TV with all the drummers and whatever jumping up and down, we were in there. I made it onto the RTVC website photo, and I was there holding a blue flare. I thought, please don't publish this. Please don't.
You get everywhere.
Please don't publish Canarian Weekly holding a blue flare.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. But I've got to tell you something. I actually didn't make. Oh no, this was even better. So afterwards, in the Plaza España in Santa Cruz, they'd put a big screen. And they announced that the team were going to be getting a coach down to the Plaza España. There was a stage. There was a big screen for the match.
I think I saw some of that.
It wasn't the presentation of the trophy.
No,
that's on the next home game.
Yeah.
But there was, afterwards, the players were all there. However, we were on a coach heading towards the Plaza España. And everyone was jumping around on the bus celebrating. And there must have been 1,000 fans banging on the bus, filming us with their phones. We were like, sunglasses on. And it was like we were the team being...
they were like, there they are, that's the coach.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was
It was a bunch of Gearys. It was the Armada Sur.
Literally.
But I've got to say, I got home at about 10:30. I never made it to the gym on Saturday. It was like a full workout because I didn't sit down for a second.
Wow.
Right.
We were jumping up and down.
Yeah.
The first half of the game was a bit average. The second half was a couple of great goals.
What was the score of the game?
2-0. Tenerife won 2-0.
Okay.
So, which was great. So, yeah, they won it.
And the thing is, it's pleasing because when we had Chris on, he talked about the changes that had occurred and the things that had gone on within the club and management and ownerships and things like that. So to have that celebration now that things are going to be better, of course, getting promoted in any league in the world means you get some more money, so that there's more going into the club, and all of it's good news,
Yeah, and they've already confirmed the manager's staying. They've already confirmed that Danny, who's the goalkeeper's staying. So it's been good news all round. But you know how they always, take Wrexham as an example. We've seen how the success of the football teams had a knock-on effect with the city. Santa Cruz on Friday was incredible.
Oh,
it was absolutely... There was 10,000 fans in the Plaza España.
Wow.
To watch the match.
Brilliant.
I know, on the big
was
screen.
The ground a sellout then?
The ground was completely sold out.
Wow.
It was a capacity over 20,000. It's only holds 20,000 for football. I know Ed Sheeran was more because they use the pitch.
Yeah,
but so for concerts it's more, but for football it's 20,000. But there was 10,000 in the Plaza España.
Wow.
So the whole place was just party, incredible atmosphere, great people. Had a brilliant time.
Love that. I feel like maybe I need to just start being a CD Tenerife supporter then, because my alternative is Leicester City.
But you know what though? There was families there with kids. There was absolutely. It is a proper family day out. I wouldn't necessarily say take kids to the area we were in where everyone's jumping up and down, but obviously up in the stands, in the seats, whatever. Yeah. And I tell you what, the weather was fantastic. Yeah. It was brilliant.
And what a day to do it on the Bank Holiday Friday, because it was Workers' Day, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
So great. Everybody was there to celebrate. It couldn't have worked out any better, because had that Osasuna match been a different score, there's a chance that you would have had to have waited, and so the timing of that was just
CD Tenerife basically had to mirror Celta Vigo's result. So if Celta Vigo drew, a draw would have been enough for Tenerife. If Celta Vigo have won, Tenerife had to win to become champions. So, it was just incredible. It was a brilliant celebration, and thanks again to Chris and all the Armada Sur. I saw loads of people I haven't seen for ages.
Oh,
it was
nice.
great. It was
a reunion.
Sounds like a great
day. It was really fun, feel good. Sometimes you forget what Tenerife's all about. And we forget that, you know, we're here in the south and we get wound up in everything we do with bars and entertainment and this, that and the other. And we forget that there's this whole different world up there.
We're
and
in such a bubble, aren't
absolutely.
we?
And you know what? It's like you looked around. I took a few videos of the stands of everybody bouncing, Mexican waves, waving their scarves, the drums, the flares, everything. It was. I'm not talking about the trousers, by the way. I'm talking about the, you know, but it was. I know.
That's disappointing.
Sorry, Jen, I know. But it was brilliant, and I'm really pleased I went.
That's great.
I've been looking after a rabbit.
Have you? Tell us all about that, Jen.
Well, my neighbours popped round.
I wasn't expecting that, were you, Steve?
No. And luckily, I promised you I'd turn the filter on because what's going through my head right now.
What's going through your head?
Just tell us the story, Jen, please.
He's not thinking of a bunny rabbit.
What's wrong with you?
He's thinking of the more rampant type.
Okay. I wasn't even gonna go there, but you went there for me.
You sick bastard!
Sorry.
I've been playing with a rabbit all week. No, my neighbours have gone away, and they have a rabbit.
I can feel the force in this one.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Sorry, Jen. Tell us about this rabbit you've been looking after.
Oh, it's just a rabbit. My neighbour's rabbit. They asked me to look after it for the weekend while they've gone away for a couple of days, and I said yes, and I'm having a lovely time with the rabbit. But I've realised I worry a lot. Like I'm a bit of a stress head. That's not news to you, Chris. But yeah, I've been waking up early, like go check on the rabbit. Like, has it had enough exercise?
There is a worry though when you're asked to. Someone goes on holiday and says, "Can you look after something, particularly a living creature like a rabbit or a dog or a cat or whatever?" The last thing you want to happen is they come back off holiday and you've killed their pet. So I get that.
Yeah,
I get it.
Don't, because I mean, it's been on its own for a few hours this morning already, and I am like, and because
the kids must be enjoying it.
Well, the kids are going to make the most of rabbit time later. They haven't been with me this weekend, so but yeah, no, it's cute. They're cute, aren't they, rabbits? They're pretty cute.
They're cool.
Also, they are so tasty. No, there's a canary and rabbit stew recipe with chickpeas. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I think we should leave that there.
I must tell you, I used to live up in El Salto when I was married, which is go up to San Isidro, turn right up in the hills there. And obviously it's a little Canarian village, all Canarians. It was just before Christmas. And the neighbour, Jose, came round and banged on the door, and he was holding up a rabbit. And we went, oh, brilliant, this, that, and the other. And Sharon was a massive animal person.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, you've got a new pet? And he was like, no. Para comer. We're going to eat it. And she tried to buy it off him. I was like, we've already got 4 dogs and chickens. Don't want rabbits as well. But they are really cute. I like the lop-eared ones. You know, the ones with the big floppy ears. Yeah, they're brilliant. They're cool, man.
Well, other than that, I've been a party weekend, really. Friend's birthday on Saturday, kid's birthday party yesterday. I've been living the dream, but I am tired. So, on that note, can we have a brief weather update from Steve? My stinger finger is at the ready. We're coming. And are we coming for you today? That's the question. What's the latest?
I don't think we are coming for me, to be honest with you, because we're in this beautiful period of settled weather. It's over the weekend. It looked actually on the Saturday afternoon as if it was going to get really overcast. It looked really dark towards the mountains if you were looking that way. But in the coastlines, it was really nice. There was a few spots of rain in the village of Adeje and those villages around there, which always happens when you're further up. But the coastline's looking lovely. All the resorts look really nice. And then on Sunday, everything started to clear. The skies were blue. The temperatures are starting to creep up. And that's going to stay pretty much.
That's staying now. For the foreseeable.
But there is a Dana out in the Atlantic, they're saying is heading this way.
There is the potential for this, high altitude, low pressure, which could bring something. The thing with the Atlantic is it's very easily influenced by other things, trade winds, for example. So when you look at rainfall radar and you look at cloud formations in advance, which the Met Office you can do, it starts to swirl and you think, oh, that's coming for us. But then all of a sudden,
it'll
change direction and then move away. So it's really hard to do something very long term in terms of forecasting. We can only do that maybe 48 hours or 72 hours before
Very
to see if it's
often
going to
we
hit
get the tail end, don't we?
Right,
as it turns and heads up towards mainland Europe. Because you've got to remember, Jen, that in weather patterns, 1,000 miles is tiny. So, some of these weather patterns cover several thousand miles. So they can see something coming over the Azores or this kind of area. And you think that's miles away from here.
You get a big enough tropical storm that's sort of finishing in Miami and coming across the Atlantic. That's not, yes, the Atlantic is vast, but actually when you've got that base of cloud that is that big, it's not moving. No. It can. The top tropical storms and hurricanes can have a little, the tail end just sort of flicks around the Canaries and gives us a bit of crap weather. But
tell me about wind, because absolutely selfish reason. So I have like a security camera at home that's been buzzing while I've been here in the studio today. Is it the wind or has the rabbit escaped?
In terms of wind, there's no warnings about for high winds. It's fairly settled. Southeasterly, 10 kilometres an hour. We're not talking anything like if you've got movement in your garden, have a quick look.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I can't see it, but that rabbit is pretty quick. I'll update you on Thursday how I got on with the rabbit. I'm really shaking now.
If Jen all of a sudden is on one of those Facebook groups, has anybody got a rabbit that I can buy off them? Because you've got to replace the rabbit with exactly the same looking
out of time. I think they're picking it up later today. Right, let's move on to some news of the week. Over to Mr. Elkington, Mr. Newsman. What are we talking about this week, news-wise?
I like the way he gets Dr. Steve and I get Mr. Elkington. It's very official, that, isn't it? But,
didn't you start Dr. Steve?
Well, yeah, true.
What do you want to be called out?
No, we're sorry, we'll stay as well. But no, there's a couple of stories I'd like to touch on. One of them is to, I think, reassure people a little bit. There's obviously big stories around at the moment. There is a massive increase in crime, not just in the south of Tenerife, across holiday resorts in the Canary Islands, but business owners here in the south, which they are stressing Costa Adeje, Los Cristianos, Las Americas and Las Gaitas area, are really concerned about a huge increase in crime. Now, this isn't necessarily pickpockets. This is actually shoplifting and break-ins, robberies, burglaries. And, it's something that is concerning, and we have to look at why it's happening, where it's happening, and what they can do about it. Because we know that pickpockets generally come here for the winter from other places. So a lot of the pickpockets are Eastern European. They come here because we have tourists here in the winter months, whereas other resorts in mainland Spain, Balearics, Greece, these other countries are closed. And then come summer months, they leave here and go somewhere else. The unfortunate thing here is that if you are caught for a pickpocketing or a small crime, if it's less than €400, you're not charged. Basically, you are given a slap on the wrist and you're released. And unless you're actually physically caught in the act or with what you've stolen, it's also extremely difficult. I was talking to a guy who owns an excursion shop, and his excursion shop has been broken into. They've gone for the safe, and he hasn't got any cash in there. Most people are not keeping floats in bars anymore, or cash in the safe, all the rest of it. And he's got CCTV, and the police have looked at it, and they've said they've identified the person, but it's very difficult to arrest and charge them because what have they got?
Yeah.
And he used to actually have the Renault concession, the Renault dealership in La Laguna.
Right.
And he was telling me about when he got broken in at Renault. And basically, they were not after cars, but they were after parts. Because obviously a lot of dealer parts can be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they caught the guy. But he wasn't actually in possession of anything. Everything that he'd kind of gone into the parts department, he'd put by the door with the intention of, picking it all up to leg it. But when they caught him on the premises, he wasn't actually in possession of anything, and there was none of the parts were outside of the building. So they could only charge him for break-in or attempted robbery. They couldn't charge him for burglary and robbery. And this is one of the
So if they'd waited like 10 minutes or however long, they might have had a different story. But
potentially.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, you're even to the situation where, I mean, he said to me that the police said, "Can you not move it outside?"
But
yeah.
The thing is,
he was like, "No."
The difference in Spanish law to UK law, for example, is one word, and it's intent. So under UK law, under the Theft Act, under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, is all the police have got to do is prove intent in order for you to be charged with the crime. If that had happened in the UK, he would have been charged with burglary and that theft because he intended
Yeah, because why
to
else
remove
you there?
those
Like,
objects.
there's no-
But the law is obviously different. The wording of the law is different here than it is in the UK. But in the UK, he would have been done for burglary because he intended to remove the items. But it's different over here.
Now, obviously, from the business association's point of view, and you've written a couple of articles on the Canarian Weekly about shopkeeper sleeping in his shop.
There was one
wasn't
in Gran Canaria over the weekend, and yeah, he hasn't had any break-ins. I will point that out. But the area that he's in and the amount of break-ins that are happening, he's decided the only option he feels at the moment, even though it's not sustainable, is to sleep in his own shop. And I feel like you can hear that and think, oh, fair enough, he's just sleeping in his shop. But you read the article, he's got a 12-year-old daughter at home who's concerned because her daddy is sleeping in a shop, potentially waiting for...
And he's got alarms and he's got CCTV
he's got
and he's
all.
got,
And yeah, to think that people are feeling like because all their investment are in the stock in the shop or whatever.
Sure. Now, as you can imagine from the business owners or the business association point of view, what they're concerned is obviously the fact for the businesses that this is happening, but also they are concerned for the image of tourism because obviously this has a knock-on effect where, yes, petty crime, if people know they can get away with it, the problem is it increases. Now, I guess one of the questions is, Steve, why is it happening?
Well, there's a few schools of thought on this.
Because just quickly, these crimes are local people. These are not the pickpockets externally. And also, let's just clear it up. Because as you can imagine, all the comments are saying, it's the immigrants coming in on the boats. No, it's not that either. This is local people.
Again, it's a similar picture. With crime in a lot of places, the UK is very similar as well. Is people are resorting, for example, let's take shoplifting, are resorting to shoplifting for a couple of reasons. There is the cost of living and things are more expensive. But also, rents, being able to afford things is really hard. So people have resorted to doing that. But also, because there is this getting away with it type thing, there are a lot of stores here and in other places in Europe who won't put their staff at risk by trying to stop shoplifters. Well, and shoplifters and thieves know this.
But 20 years ago, you would have done. Because you would have thought, oh, well, it might end up in a fist fight. But these days, you don't know what people are carrying.
20 years ago, I was working in security for Woolworths. Well, that was probably more than 20 years ago. Co-op I used to work for, House of Fraser. House of Fraser was huge because it was all designer goods at the time.
Rackham's.
Oh, I see. I know Rackham's in Birmingham.
My mum used to work at Rackham's.
Yeah.
Really?
But
Where?
that was...
In Leicester.
Oh, it was Rackham's Birmingham.
Rackham's in Birmingham. I did training there for security when I was a store detective. So I was undercover. I was dressed as a shopper.
So how did you address it if you saw people...
So there was two schools of thought on this, and they're really all depending on what the situation was. The House of Fraser at the time were very much let them steal it, stop them, arrest them. The co-ops, for example, and the Woolworths put you in a uniform, deter. So if you think someone's about to steal something, you just go around and stand near them.
Got you.
And when you're dressed in a uniform, then they're like, ooh, same with HMV. Deter, not arrest. House of Fraser were very
I can
much
understand somewhere like HMV because they're quite high value, CDs back in the day, which it would have been CDs,
DVDs,
would have been quite a high value item.
I remember getting into a foot chase in Reading at the Oracle Shopping Centre with a guy who'd nicked a James Bond box set, which at the time was only 15 films, but it was this big. Yeah. And he is tanking it through the multi-story cup.
It's probably about, what, 60 quid, 80 quid, 100 quid? Yeah.
80 quid. And so we were giving chase, and obviously we called it a store net radio, so you had the council CCTV operators, the police were on there, and other stores. And between us and I think it might have been House of Fraser in Reading and a couple of other stores, eventually somebody rugby tackled him. We got him on the floor, arm behind his back, doing all that. You're nicked.
Incidentally, I was in Rosa Centre on yesterday.
Yeah.
Had a haircut. not going on holiday, but had another haircut.
Sure.
And when I finished, over all the tannoys was an emergency signal to vacate.
Oh.
In English and in Spanish and in German, to clear...
It's an evacuation.
To evacuate, that's the word I was looking for. To evacuate the commercial centre as quickly as possible and go to the meeting points outside.
And why? What happened?
Well, I stuck around to see what I could find out, but
Of course you did.
it got cancelled. There was no fire anywhere, so it was obviously a false alarm. But yeah, I was in there. So if anybody was there around about lunchtime yesterday, let us know, because I couldn't. I couldn't find. Sorry, Sunday. Yeah, I couldn't find out what the reason was. That was quite exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You could have had that breaking news story.
With going back to the shoplifting, though, obviously there's stories in the UK press about Morrison's member of staff, 16 years member of staff, who stopped a shoplifter, detained, and was fired. Now that to me is just ridiculous, because under the law, the Theft Act is very clear. If you are seen to steal something and you intend to permanently deprive the other person of it, that's theft. It carries a sentence of over 5 years, which means as a citizen you can make an arrest, and you should make an arrest, a citizen's arrest. So he was only doing what was right within the law. Their company policy was deter, get rid of them. So they sacked him after 16 years for doing that, which I think is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And also, it gives now an advertisement to every thief that Morrison's is fair game, because the staff aren't going to stop them. So where do we draw the line, though? That's the thing. I'm all for, if I see someone doing that, I'm not going to put myself in any risk, because it isn't worth it. But I would highlight it. Same with pickpockets. Some people carry whistles, and when they see a pickpocket having to go to someone, they blow
that's a good one.
I would do the same. I would draw attention, not try and be a hero or anything like that. But
my mum actually, you know, Mercadona in San Eugenio.
Yeah.
CC San Eugenio. There's a big Mercadona downstairs. And according to my mother, who obviously my parents used to live here, they do the best barraquito in the south.
Oh, that little one as you walk in.
The little cafe downstairs. Always goes there for barraquito. She was there by herself. So this was probably about 5-6 years ago. So she would have been mid-70s. And guy came up to her and asked her for change for a trolley and tried to steal her bag. Ugh. Yeah? And she literally stood up and went, no! Really, and like really drew attention.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the guy legged it.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'd do in that
situation.
situation.
I think when I worked for TUI, there was a training session once for entertainers and childcare reps about how to be safe in resort, and if someone does try to come and grab you or take something or attack you, you had to jump into this stance, which was like legs apart, fist out like that, hand out like that, and say, state your business.
Brilliant. Yeah. But just quickly, I mean, obviously the main thing about this is just to ensure people are coming here on holiday. You know, it's not as though there are, you know, thieves walking around prying on people and this, that and the other. But there is a deeper problem with infrastructure, and it's well known that we've spoken about the cost of living, the cost.
Yeah, people are struggling. So people are resorting to.
So people are resorting to crime.
But also, I do think as well we have to acknowledge that reported crime like that now gets more airtime in terms of social media. People are, instead of you reading that in the news, you're reading this on
it's
forums.
Everywhere,
people so there is more of that publicity.
Now, CEST, just so you know, CEST, who are the main business association, are requesting more police presence, which we know comes down to finances. We know that Adeje have just introduced some new local police into their force, and they are asking for more CCTV in public spaces, which has another issue with data protection in Spain, but it's something they can get round in due course for the protection of everybody. So let's hope they do that.
And I just want to mention, because it obviously isn't just here, someone who is quite active contacting us and commenting on our
Not
show.
Siobhan.
No, I've not heard from Siobhan for a while.
She likes your hair, that's what it is.
You okay, hon? Everything all right?
Hashtag West Siobhan.
John Wiley, who is an avid listener to the station of Oasis FM, and I think he listens to the pod a lot as well. He sent a message through on Oasis the other day in the UK with a broccoli that had a security tag on it.
Really?
Yeah, so you were talking about HMV. I remember like when they introduced like the boxes and the tags.
Yeah, for Lurpak. Do you remember? That was the one, wasn't it? Lurpak was the one.
There was a
and
broccoli.
Chocolate as well. Cabbage
chocolate, but broccoli.
I think that's
There you
probably
go.
a step too far. I'm not sure many people
Anyway.
want him to stand in the pub and he's got his jacket on and he goes, want to buy some broccoli, mate?
Although I would these days. I would these
It's quite
days.
healthy, yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention, Jen, is Jet 2.
Right, can you tell me about this? Because I've not read the article yet, but I am intrigued.
Yeah, but
VIP.
nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Well, especially in this new format.
Well, apparently
so
so.
Jet 2 are basically introducing, they call it VIP flights with business class seating at charter flight level. So what they've done is they've taken initially some of their 737-800s at Liverpool Airport, and they've changed them from 189 seats to 76.
Ooh.
All right. So basically, only 76 people travelling. It means you get 109 centimetres leg room instead of the standard 76. That's almost, 50% increase?
Yeah.
There are also more higher end luxury dining options and this sort of thing. No, I know.
Immediately thought they're going for Watsits instead of Pringles.
So basically, the whole reason behind it, the aim is to aim at travellers who want a bit more luxury, and without them saying it directly, don't want to be on a flight where they believe there could be disruption.
And obviously they're charging a premium for this. Obviously
It's got to be
price
more
is gonna
because
be
there's
more, yeah.
half the number of seats.
Yeah.
But what's your thought on it? I think in this day and age, people will pay it. I would.
What is the price difference? Are we aware what the?
Well, it doesn't start till October, and I haven't actually seen any prices yet. I know that obviously people are trying to book it, but I don't believe there's actually any prices as yet. But I haven't seen any. But, there's times where your flight can be 400, 500 quid anyway.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so that makes me think, are they going to be even more than that?
Well, it's only running at the moment from October 2026 to May 2027, so it's not going to be through the main school holidays in the summer.
Right.
So that means you won't have that increase.
And for them, I don't know about you, when I have people come to visit, it's not often anymore that they come and go, the plane was full. Often the flights are coming and there's spaces anyway.
However, more and more people are moaning about other people on the plane.
Listen, I get it that if you're saying there's less chance of a disturbance happening because you're paying a premium for your seat and you're giving that first class service.
Yep.
I still have an issue with the fact that it's Jet 2. No, this is not me dissing Jet 2, but it is still a Jet 2 aircraft with Jet 2 seats.
Yeah, but Monarch used to do it back in the day.
What's wrong with Jet 2?
It's not a luxury airline. It's not a first class airline. It's not Emirates. It's not you're offering. Seat. Right. Let's talk about seat pitch. That's how you sit. The seat. It's still the same seat pitch. Okay, you've moved.
Well, we don't
over
know
the
if
row,
it is or not.
But the seats.
We don't know if it. Well, we don't know. We don't know. It doesn't say that.
If you're just removing every other row to give more legroom.
No. They said they're putting in business class seats.
Okay.
All right. So basically, what they've done is they've taken out all the seats and they've put in more comfortable business class seats.
Then in that case, that is going to cost an absolute fortune because business class seats and changing the configuration of your aircraft costs a lot of money because you're taking an aircraft out of circulation. You're also then removing all of the seats to put business class seats in. Then you also then only have half an aircraft.
Well, I've got to be honest, Steve. I see
fuel.
this as a positive, not a negative.
I'm not saying it's
well, you are. You're being very negative.
I'm just not sure about it. To be honest,
I see it as a positive. I see it as if you've got people these days are happy to pay for stuff, yeah, as long as they're getting value for money. All right, and in my opinion, if it means that people can smaller queues to get on the plane, easier boarding, chances are they'll be able to take more luggage because there's less people on the plane.
Of course, yeah.
So instead of 20 kilos, you might be able to take 30 kilos or whatever. More relaxed flight, more legroom, more this, more that, more the other. I mean, I've only ever travelled business first class once, which was on Virgin from Las Vegas to here. Having the full bed and all the rest of it is brilliant. And I always used to pay the extra back in the day when Monarch were operating. We know seats cost. You have to pay for a seat, and sometimes people don't like paying £3, £4, £6 for a seat. But back in the day, always used to pay the extra for Monarch, just for that little bit of extra room. But it's because you were sat at the front with nicer people, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. No. But these days on planes, you do get people who I'm on holiday. I can do what I want.
So so you're saying the budget package airline thing attracts budget package passengers and paying more won't? I agree with you on that.
Yes.
I just would be interested to see how it works in terms of the uptake of it.
But I think
and
it's
then
a
the
combination
differences.
of the two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't agree that Jet2 is like budget. Is that what it's classed as? Because I would if I'm on Jet2, I'm thinking, hey, I'm on Jet2 here. Check me out.
I think Jet2 are above Ryanair and Wizz Air.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But I mean, they, Jet2 holidays obviously is one thing, but Jet2 as a carrier, as an airline, are considered to be a budget airline.
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we talked to John from Canary Green, who said like they want a different, maybe not different, a better standard or a certain standard
Different profile of tourists.
So I think things like this are potentially going to bring that.
True.
So that could be a thing. Personally, I would love to be able to afford that. I don't think. Obviously, we don't know prices, but I don't think it's something that I would be able to pay for.
Maybe starting at Liverpool is the wrong place.
Yeah. Just thinking
Maybe
that's why they're
maybe better
starting
closer to
Liverpool.
Essex.
Heathrow or Gatwick or something like that. But also, my thinking is, it seems they were probably planning this for ages, and it was going to launch at this point anyway. But it seems, I don't know whether the timing's right for this in terms of the reports that we are about to have a fuel crisis and all the rest of it, and now you've got a half-empty aircraft.
But then there's still people
like,
there is a lot of people struggling, and that this is going to affect people. Then there is a whole class of people that are still going to be able to afford stuff.
Course.
So maybe you're right. It is a good thing, and those people will still be travelling. And yeah,
interesting.
any more to say?
Time
on
will
them,
tell.
Dan?
Yeah.
Well,
No, I
yeah,
think
let
time
us
will
know
tell.
your thoughts as well, listeners. Like, would you want that? Is it something that you think is a bad idea?
Do
or a
they
good idea?
are they still going to play that bloody song? Like, if you've paid extra for a first class seat,
What song?
That Jess
Darling,
Glynn,
hold your hand.
that one.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh God, I can't
I'm
stand
gonna be
it.
missing
Oh,
this.
come
the
on, though.
reason
But
why
that's
I don't
better than
fly
the on Ryanair, isn't it?
I know, because it landed on time, even though they gave you a 5-hour journey allowance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-hour window for a
Also,
3-hour
can
journey.
can I just say, even if you've paid extra for your seat on one of those Jet2 VIPs, we don't clap when the plane lands, okay?
Why?
Because that's the pilot's job. It's like applauding your taxi driver for getting you somewhere without killing you.
I'm going
It's
to
kind of
start
expected that that's
clapping you at the end
normal.
of this pod. Good work, Steve. Woohoo!
Oh, actually, I'll take it.
Yeah, I thought you would.
He'd love it, wouldn't he? Let's be honest, he'd love it.
I'm finding more and more ways to wind you up as well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
going to stop
mentally
talking a lot
noting
now
them.
because you're finding my weak spot. I'm right, now I know how to dig it right
Well
in.
said,
That's
Steve. Well
Yeah,
said,
good
well
job.
said, well said.
Really good point.
Thank you, Dr.
Really
Steve.
good
Yeah.
I'm
point.
back on Thursday.
Okay, right. Let's go on to a little cheeky yes or no. So I don't know if you've been following on the old socials, the Oasis FM
Yes.
Facebook and Insta page and TikTok and everything. We're all over the place. There was a question that hit quite a few people, and a lot of people had a lot to say. The question was, and it is my question to you both today, yes or no, smoking rules in Tenerife should be stricter.
Question.
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked?
I've never been a smoker.
So you're a non-smoker.
I'm a non-smoker.
I'm an ex-smoker.
Yeah.
And you're a smoker.
I am a smoker.
Oh,
yes.
so we've got quite
three
the
different
debate
opinions
potentially
here.
on our hands here. Okay.
Who do you want to start with?
I think I'll start with the smoker, Steve.
Hello.
I'm getting ready to applaud you.
To clarify, as the non-smoker, because I know not so long ago the rules did change a little bit, if I'm right in saying.
Yeah, in public places.
What's the rule at the moment for smokers?
So if basically you are not allowed to smoke in public places, all right?
Yeah.
Particularly indoors. So there's no smoking indoors.
Yeah.
Terraces have to have only 2 walls, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
So
yes.
you can't smoke on the terrace of a restaurant because there's food. Bar terraces, if they've got more than 2 walls, effectively they're classed as closed in. You can't have them. No smoking on beaches. No smoking near schools. No smoking in near public buildings such as museums, this, that, and the other, all that sort of thing. You're also not allowed to smoke in a company car. because it is classed as your place of work.
Interesting.
So whether that's a van or you're doing deliveries, or even if you're given a company car, you are not allowed to smoke in that, because you're not allowed to smoke in your place of work. So
they're quite strict already. Then I feel.
Yeah, they are, but Spain wants to completely stop smoking in public places. Full stop.
So how hard at the moment, Steve, is it when you are out? How hard is it to find somewhere to go and have a smoke?
It's not hard at all.
Not hard at all.
No,
okay.
not hard at all. It's you. Listen, I'm a very conscientious smoker as well, and also I'm not a heavy smoker, which is the other thing that's sort of to my credit, I guess. Listen, I know it's a filthy habit. Come at me in the comments if you want. But
Yeah,
I'm
not applauding you for smoking.
No, it's fine. I'm a conscientious smoker, so I do not smoke anywhere on terraces where I know people are eating. So I will always move away. I will always walk away. And smoke down the street a little bit, or further out. I wouldn't even stand directly outside a bar.
Yeah, I've got to say, when I
is.
was a smoker, I still had respect for other people who
100%,
don't.
yeah.
And there's nothing. I mean, I'm a non-smoker now, and there's nothing worse than being on a bar terrace, for example, where people are smoking and you don't smoke.
It's horrible, isn't it? That smell.
And I'll tell you what, Jen, as well. I never realised until I gave up smoking how, because most of my partners haven't smoked, how they must have felt by my breath, my clothes, everything, how it stinks of smoke. And you just don't realise it when you smoke, because you just get used to it.
You get numb to it. Yeah, it is vile. As somebody that's always been a non-smoker, and had people around me, close family members and partners or whatever that do smoke, it is horrible. And even people do go out, if you're sitting with them, drinking with them, or they will go away, but they come back and it's in their clothes, and it's.
I mean, think about it. We used to be able to smoke on planes.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking when you said Monarch was one of the last
Sorry.
people I.
No, we're not just gonna skip past
It's
that.
Monarch.
Stu.
No, it's not. It's Monarch. Listen. Excuse me. Right, you're both from the Midlands, so you can't speak. You've got regional accents. No, it's Monarch.
How?
Because that's how you say it.
No, it's
if
Monarch.
you're not from Birmingham.
It's Monarch.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm not having this argument with you.
We won't have it. We're not having a different debate. Settle it. Monarch or Monarch.
No, I didn't say it like that, Jen.
So you're
I
saying
said
it like
Monarch.
aardvark.
Monarch.
But it's spelled Monarch. It's Monarch.
Right, okay. Seriously, we're going to have at this later on. You're not going to be savvy to this because there may be bloodshed. Just because you two can't speak properly doesn't mean you have to come at me. Right? Yeah, you couple of yams can't say the word Monarch. It's seriously, there's something wrong with you two because you're commoners from the Midlands. You can't speak properly. Seriously.
Ooh.
Elocution, people.
I was
Elocution.
going to say I'm
Anyway,
from Solihull, actually. I'm from
Well, you're
Solihull,
from the
actually.
Midlands. It's the middle of the country where people speak weird.
Anyway,
I was going to say...
What were we going to say about Monarch?
My point was, for that particular airline,
Aardvark.
is that when the last flight I took on there, before they went pop and completely disappeared, you had a smoking and a non-smoking, and I was a smoker, obviously. So there was this pathetic curtain between smoking and non-smoking.
Is
How
that
are
Lee
you
Evans
supposed
sketch?
to,
Have you seen the Lee Evans sketch when he's like, "How does the smoke? No,
we
can't go in there."
How does it? We'll just stop at this curtain, and we went how do you handle it? It didn't make sense. But yeah, the days back in the day, you used to be able to.
Even in restaurants, I worked at Pizza Hut, and there was a smoking when I worked
before
there,
the
it
main
had gone,
smoking
but there was
ban
an area where there was meant to be the smoking area.
Do you know, I got in a lift the other day, and somebody had been smoking in the lift, and I actually felt like really leaving a fart just to get my own back.
I was
you
left
like,
the smell. I'm leaving the smell.
Well, I thought, actually, mine would be better than the smell of...
You would do a public service and overmask the smell of smoke with a fart.
Yeah. That's hilarious. To answer the question, yes or no, I don't think there needs to be any more rules. I think they're tight enough. I
totally disagree.
I don't think we should start causing any more...
Spain wants to ban all smoking from terraces, full stop. and all public areas apart from designated smoking areas. Now, you may have noticed, Jen, when you went to Siam Park, even though that's open air, there are designated smoking areas.
I didn't
in there.
notice because I wasn't looking for it.
Fair enough, but there are designated, same as if you go to the airport, there are designated smoking areas and so on and so forth. And that's how it's going to end up being on everywhere, even on seafront walks and everything else. There's going to be designated areas. But yes, I totally agree with it.
Should be stricter.
Well, yes, it should be stricter. I mean, cigarette butts on the beach, for example, we know they all end up in the sea. And they're not biodegradable for God knows how many years, and they cause problems. You're not supposed to smoke on the beaches. You're supposed to stand at the back where they've got designated places for you to put your cigarettes out, etc. People don't. They either put it in a cup or a can or bury it in the sand or whatever. And for me, it's just that thing of people's attitude again. Yeah, where it's like, I'm a smoker, I can do what I want, and it's like, no, you can't. But I mean, I smoked for 25 years and then vaped, which, and this applies to vaping as well. The Spanish, and this is national, this isn't just Canary Islands, this is the whole of Spain. That it's electric cigarettes, it's anything with tobacco base, so cigars, pipes, everything, and also vapes. And, I smoked, then vaped, and then I quit. I haven't told you how I quit smoking, have I?
No, it hasn't come up.
I don't know.
Have I never told you? Oh, do you want to know?
Yeah.
I do now.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like there's a story, so we should really ask you. Tell us
I-
all
I
about
think
it,
you
mate.
have
I was in
told me.
England. I was in England, yeah. I mean, it's the same as, I mean, for me, it's like giving up drinking. If you stop drinking, then go on to alcohol free, it's just cheating. There's no point. And it's the same if you say, I've given up smoking, but I vape.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You
You've
vape.
just changed it
Yeah,
to
you've just
something
changed what you
else.
do,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and obviously the thing with vapes is that you have a bottle of fluid. And it's the same feeling. I mean, you know what it's like, Steve. You run out of cigarettes, you can't buy cigarettes. It's the worst thing, isn't it? And it gets worse because it's an addiction. And it's the same when you're vaping. Even if you're on 0%, 0 milligrams tobacco, it's still the same. And I went to a club in the UK and with friends, and I ran out of fluid. However, they sold poppers behind the bar. So I bought a bottle of poppers and I put poppers in my vape. And it was, for about the first couple of times, it was fine. After that, I was like going, oh, man, how are you doing? It like literally, because what is it? Nitroglycerine or something?
It's
what
a
is
chemical called amyl nitrate.
Amyl nitrate, that's it.
And it's really harmful if you do that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Raw dogging it in a vape is not what animal nitrate
Oh, don't get me
is.
wrong. I mean, I've had fun with poppers over the years. We used to put it in the air conditioning in the clubs to liven up the night and all the rest of it. That's a story for another day. But don't put it in your vape unless you want to give up vaping. It's a really good way of giving up vaping. Because after that, I was like, literally, oh, mate, how you doing? Are you all right? For like the next week.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, I just chucked it in the bin and gave up. And it's how to give up.
I mean, I don't recommend trying it, but if you've exhausted
If you're
all
really
of the options.
desperate to give up, then yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, a bit of amyl nitrate in your vape. Go for
There
it.
was a few comments on the Facebook page about this. So one, Donna said, I'd rather sit near a smoker than a drunk. And then...
Ooh, I'll
Would
tell
you
what.
though?
Yeah, but
It depends on what their behaviour's like, though.
Well, I
because
guess
I
she's
think it's
saying.
too
I guess she's saying an annoying drunk.
Yeah.
It's two completely different things, because an annoying drunk, is very different to... And
Yeah.
it's also like the health...
Most annoying drunks are smoking, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, usually.
I only
actually.
smoke when I have a drink.
Yeah, so I'm a
That's
20
the
a
other
day
one,
man.
isn't it? I only smoke when I have a drink, yeah? But unfortunately, I'm on 20 drinks a day.
Yeah.
Paul Abbott, who is probably, I'm going to guess from his comment, a smoker, said, go and sit inside, out of the way. I put up with your aftershave choice if I don't like it.
Again, people's attitude. Thanks, Paul.
So I personally can't say, and I have friends that are smokers, I can't say, I find all my friends are quite respectful of me or generally other people that I don't want to be smoked around and stuff. Well, the one thing I don't like about the smoking rules is, as a non-smoker, I'm often left inside by myself waiting. while everyone goes out for a fag, and then it's this
let's be
really
honest with
social
you,
thing, isn't it? And then all the chat and everything happens, and then come back and you're like...
most social things happen in the smoking area.
Because they don't just go out for one and come in. Go out for one, start the chat, have another one, and I'm like...
And we're coming back talking, right?
Jen, I've told
talking
you.
And laughing, and there's you sat there on your toes.
Yeah.
I've told Jen this before, but been to the Brit Awards, as you know, and if you want to meet any of the celebs,
Go to the smoking area.
Toilets or smoking area,
Man.
and you'll meet everyone, and that's genuinely true.
Well, on that note, again, have your say. There is already plenty of comments on Oasis FM.
No, what was it?
State your business.
What was the question about the...
the rules
you're right. Smoking
strict
rules in Tenerife, should they be strict?
Yes. I'm a yes.
I'm a no.
I don't feel like they need to change personally.
That's what I feel.
You're on the fence, are you?
I feel like they're okay.
You're like
as they
Mrs.
are.
Creosote, are you?
I'll be on the fence, sure. No, I'm a no. I feel like they're already quite strict and quite good. As a non-smoker, people smoking generally doesn't bother me in Tenerife. I don't.
But don't you think though? I mean, again, it's the same as drinking. The younger generation, the new generation, are smoking less anyway.
They're doing
in
that.
the same way as they're drinking.
But
less.
also that you have these rules that are coming in. So the UK just passed legislation that nobody who was born after 2008 can ever buy cigarettes, ever.
And they're actually talking about, there's been stuff in the press about Spain doing the same thing. So that means if you were born in 2007, you can buy cigarettes and tobacco.
But if you've got a brother or sister, friend, cousin, uncle who was born in 2008, no, never. They would never be allowed to.
How does that work?
But if you, you'd have to ID everybody, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Guess.
Just say no. Just say no, kids.
Just say no. On that note, thank you once again for listening to the Tenerife Pod. We'll be back again soon with more shenanigans, chaos, and who knows what.
We're going to have a little chat about whether it's monarch or monarch.
I'm looking forward to Monarch.
Come on,
and don't forget to just finally put Steve in his place.
Well done, Steve. Well done, Steve. Well done, Steve. Yeah, well done.
I needed that.